Patriots, baby.
The Inky Man.
And he's on the door. And he's on the door.
It is real.
And he's on the door. And he's on the door.
Hold your ears, folks. It's showtime.
What up, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy.
The Inky Man.
So, big shout to all y'all. Thank y'all for supporting your boy, man. I really, that's all I'm gonna say. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for watching me today. All right. So, the OG status, which was the last show, I was talking about, just what OG means and all of that. And if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Let me see. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and let me see where I'm gonna put it. I said, go ahead and hit that little area right there. You can go see yesterday's show. So anyway, got a lot of comments from it. So obviously, what I have to do is adjust some comments. Adjust some comments. Okay. That Mrs. Riley thing, I know that's from when I was doing contests back in the day. So that's an inside joke. If you don't know anything about that, I appreciate that. As far as being Tukey Williams, let me tell you something, man. Despite what I said as far as being an OG and all that stuff, if you called me Tukey Williams, hey, I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that. All right. Anyway, thank you for the comment. Next. Next. And that's true. That's true. I agree with this statement. It does put you in that position. It is the new sir. It's just that sometimes we don't pay attention to our words. And I'm a person who believes strongly in words. I believe in, just different things that most people do not believe or do not know or do not pay attention or they're just blind to see. I pay attention to things like that. And I am a very strong believer in the power of words. When you look at where that comes from with OG and original gangster, where that stuff comes from, you're essentially accepting it to be, let's put it this way. As much as people are on, as far as the LGBTQ community, if I said all those letters right, and you have those that are saying, that are non-binary, and they're going by pronouns as being identified, I've seen cases where those people who go by these pronouns get extremely upset if you don't say he or she, or, if you refer to them as he or she. You know what I mean? So they understand the power of words. Now, another person will look at that and go, really? But there's a power in words. There's a YouTube video I'd love for you. Maybe I'll find it or something. But there's a YouTube video out, and a man is explaining how words are essentially just symbols, how all these letters are essentially symbols, and you're putting them together, and this is where we get the term spelling, and that these words that are put together, if you understand, there are certain words that can be used. For example, in the black community, let a white person call a black person nigger. It's just a word, but those letters spelled out puts a spell on certain people when they hear that word. Do you dig what I'm talking about? Next. You understand my plan. Next. Big shout to the Sneed family. Congratulations on that. And that is what today's topic is going to be about. That. So the title of this is Make Success Fashionable. So me and my man, the male Sneed, we were talking about, and I was congratulating him on everything, and we were talking about where the land is located, this, that, and the third. And he was saying he brought up the pandemic and how the pandemic had opened a lot of people's eyes, including him and his wife. It opened their eyes to how things can just be snatched and that you need to own, you need to own. Now it's a little deeper than that, but that's the point of where I decided, let me make a show about this. Now, why I'm saying make success fashionable, because I was talking to Cookie about this conversation. I was saying, years ago, people weren't talking about buying land. Not us. Let me just say it that way. Let me be specific. Not us. My demographic, the hip hoppers. We weren't talking about buying land. We were happy that we had thick chains and polo gear and Fila and all that stuff. And then if you look at other old shows, you'd see that those things weren't invented because we wear them. Those things were already out. But in some sense, I can't remember the show. I seen something that it was saying how black people care so much about fashion and buying things that's beyond their means just to show that they've made it and things like that. And that's a mentality of us due to conditioning. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's conditioning. When you're not used to having things and you get it, you want everybody to know you got it. Because that's why you got it. You saw someone with it, you were enamored by it, so you figured, well, this person is successful as far as I'm concerned, or this person is where I want to be as far as I'm concerned, so I'm going to do what they're doing. It can be done because I'm seeing it, all right? So that's where this conversation is going to go. Because I said, when I was talking to Cookie, I was saying, right now, you're hearing about a lot of people buying land. I should say, right now, I'm seeing a lot more of my people, my demographic, buying land, right? And there was a time we weren't even on that. I remember times where it was a big thing to even own a home. Then it was a thing of buying a home where you had, this is when I was on the East Coast, you buy a home that's a duplex, so you can live in one apartment, rent out the other one. Then people were at the point, my brother, big shout from one of my brothers, buying multi-family homes, 3, 4 family homes, renting that out, or in some cases living at the bottom and renting 2 out, things like that. Fast forward to today, people are buying acres of land. So where's the influence with that? Well, from what I see, one of the big influences was when Kanye had did the video for Follow God, I believe. Yeah, I think it was Follow God. And he had his dad in the video, and he was riding in this machine through some land that had all this snow and stuff. That was his land in Wyoming. And I think it was hundreds of acres. I should have did my research on it, but I know it was a lot of acres, enough acres that he could start his own city, state, town, whatever he chose to do, right? So then fast forward after that, I can recall that Rick Ross had bought some land. He bought an estate, and I think it's like 183 acres, and he calls it the Promised Land. All right. Now, actually, as I'm saying that, I'm thinking of Rick Ross's book, and he talked about that. But I also have Jay Prince's book, who was the CEO of Rap-A-Lot Records, home of the Ghetto Boys and all of that. Prior to any of them doing that, this man was already on wealth and all of that, and he has an estate out in Texas that's humongous. I forgot the name of it. In his case, and in Rick Ross's case, they're raising cattle and farming. Rick Ross's case, he has car shows going on, public car shows going on his property. Coming to America was filmed at the second Coming to America was filmed at his house. Things like that, right? Then let's go to Tyler Perry since we're talking about that and filming at studios, because Marvel movies are done. Some of the Marvel movies that were done at Tyler Perry's studios, where he bought a big bunch of acreage. You know, he bought land that slaves were either buried on or it was a plantation land, but something that had to do with slaves, and this was his way of giving back. He bought the land and he turned it into a huge sprawling estate of studio. And then the studio houses are named after like Oprah and, you know, black heroes and things like that. So with all that being said, the reason I'm saying what I'm saying is, now that those things are on the forefront, Tyler Perry did that a while ago. Jay Prince did that a long time ago. But Kanye and Rick Ross did this recently. Within the last 5 years, they bought their acres of land. So then you fast forward to my man and his wife here that I'm talking about, and they bought their land. When you make success fashionable, it breeds success. Understand what I'm saying here? If you look at early rap records, it was all about partying and stuff. Like I said, people were in polo and Gucci chain, Kangol hats, two-tone leaves and all that stuff. And then there was a period where it came into the fashion was a big thing, right? Then Public Enemy, De La Soul, they came and they kind of crushed that and was like, you know, you're buying into this Italian fashion and you're buying Gucci and you're buying, these people don't want nothing to do with you. Buy from us. You know, the medallions and the kufi hats and dashikis and stuff that you can get on 125th Street, things like that, was us supporting us, black supporting black. Now we're back at the same stage where now people are getting Birkin bags and they're buying all this Italian, you know, gear. And, you know, Dapper Dan, who fashioned himself off of taking Gucci and Louis and all that, taking their patches and making sweatsuits and suits out of those, is now a designer who's at that level now, where he has some Gucci collection, but he has his own line of clothes. But did you know that? Do you support that? I doubt it. I know, big shout to my girl, Tori. Tori has a sign, and Tori Sudan has it. And I hope, Tori, I hope I said your last name is right, because I haven't talked to you in a minute. But Tori Sudan makes Italian, she has a line of Italian design shoes. And hopefully I said that right, but she has a line of shoes. And I subscribe to her email list, and she has Yanla and Tamara, I think Tamara Hall. These people are wearing her shoes and wearing and purchasing her accessories. So this same woman that I'm talking about, Tori, has a website that is dedicated to black designers. And each day I'm exposed to more and more designers of couture and all of this. And we don't support that, right? But say a rapper did support that, or a person of influence did support that, then it would be fashionable, right? Then you would buy Dapper Dan's clothes. You would go back and buy Fat Farm. This is why Fat Farm was invented. Cross colors, Carl Kanai, because this was a rebellion to these designers that do not want us to buy their stuff, but we're rapping and talking about their stuff, and our demographic is going out and buying it. You understand what I'm saying? So if we make success fashionable, learning how to be wealthy, how to set up to be wealthy, learning the ways and how to think and the mindset, if we made that fashionable, we would be successful. Because the success would be the thing to do.
It's the question. It's the question. It's the question. Come on.
Do you agree? Do you agree? Let me know below, because you know I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it right at that. Make success fashionable. And with that, I want to say happy Friday to you suckers. Happy payday, you suckers. Later.
We honor the memory of those who are no longer with us by using what we have learned to save others, to exercise faith, and patience and charity, to reach out to those who are afraid. If we can do that, then their passing will have had meaning, and we will grow from it.